The news tells us who's a bad guy and who's the good guy. And then it's the job of the characters playing the bad guy and the good guy to play their roles, to perform their roles. You have to be able to tell the difference, and if you can't, then the news tells you the difference. And then it's, of course, the job of those that are performing the role to do their job well. It's their job to perform the role of either good guy or bad guy. Of either the one that's your team or the one that's their team. Or the one that's their team or the one that's your team. Or the ones that are on that side of the border or the ones that are on this side of the border. Their side or your side. Of course, you have to be able to decide what team you're for, and then you watch the news with more interest. Because if you decide you're for this team or that team or this team, then of course when you watch the news, you have reason to be interested. You have to see, if the news tells you your team won, then you're glad. And then if the news tells you that your team lost, well then you protest. And then it's also the job of the news to tell you the story of who's looting and whose job it is to loot. And then you have to make sure that the news tells you the story of who's protecting the property and whose job it is to protect the property. Because you have to have looters and you have to have people it's their job to protect the property. But in order to do that, you have to have the news to tell you that there's looters and it's their job to loot. And then you have to have the news to tell you that there's people that protect the property and that it's their job to protect the property.
More old school than Vicky the Robot.
My name is Vicky. Pleased to meet you.